Welcome to this week's Bushel Up. I'm going to take the shades off. If you've watched college football, that became quite a controversy. So I know I talk to adults, so I'm going to take my shades off. I apologize if I've worn them in previous videos. It wasn't meant to insult anyone. So, and I hope the Buffaloes lose soon. This thing's getting a little old, so I hope you're on my side on that. It is entertainment, which I'm not, but we'll talk some facts here. Looking at our soybeans here, we are starting to see some soybean harvest come out, especially the earlier group beans. I haven't heard anything fantastic yet. I hope I hear something really good coming down the road. I do think there are some good soybeans out there. They're just probably the ones that are still waiting on. But you know, I hear a lot of comments about it's so hard to tell what soybeans are going to do, predict yields. I know I get fooled every year looking at fields. And so instead of trying to predict yields, I really try to look at soybeans when we're harvesting them or pre-harvest. They'll tell you a story. You know, you look at these soybeans here. These actually came out of the same field, one where we ran out of water a little bit early, or the dryland area of the field. And you can see we did fill pods pretty much up and down the soybean. But you look at the soybean size, and we've shriveled to nothing. We've actually aborted some beans in the pod just with the late heat and lack of water late. That's why late season management becomes so important. So I can look at a soybean plant and say, man, did it have what it needed at the end or didn't it? You know, some of those things we control. We're still watering some soybeans. You'll notice behind me we're still watering corn. When I'm looking at my moisture probes and I'm still taking up moisture and pulling at a pretty good rate, that means those plants aren't done. They'll tell you by their behavior whether they still are packing on weight or not. Meanwhile, you look at this plant, we're obviously still putting on some weight. We've got some pods that are starting to turn, but we have some actively pods that are filling here. And if we can keep that bean size, even though this plant's pretty short and doesn't look overall impressive, that bean size will make up for a lot. So that's why sometimes you see the shorter beans, or maybe beans that don't look like they're potted up, out yield beans that look fantastic with branches and pods. So evaluate that. Look at your bean size, look at where my pods are set. You know, traditionally we know that if we can get a lot of clusters at the top, that's good for us. And I expect to see a lot of difference based on planting dates and actual maturity ranges of soybeans this year, all based on when that late heat hit. As I go through our plots, I see some that look like they got some pods at the top, did a good job. Maybe they missed that heat period. And I see some where we lost a lot of pods at the top. We don't have that bean set there. And so just a couple little things, kind of notice where, am I short on the bottom third? I look at plants in thirds. How many pods do I have in the bottom third, the middle third, the top third? A lot of times that's related to Mother Nature and environment, not just picking the best yielding soybean off of a plot result from the year before. So that's why I always like to diversify on soybeans, plant several maturity ranges, because you never know which one will click. Hope we get into some that are clicking here and as we roll along. Corn-wise, we did take out Hastings dryland. It's not pretty. We knew it was going to be ugly. A lot of stress. So we'll share those results. Just so you know, it was south of 30 bushels. So for those of you out there struggling, I know it's painful to harvest when nothing's going in the combine. So keep your heads up. I know there's a lot better days ahead for us. And most importantly, stay safe as you're out there.